Alhamdulillah. Hope all is well. Okay. Oh, bro, I got a fart coming. But it's more of a poo. So I have to keep this brief. But what I wanted to talk about was, again, we talk about the mind a lot. Okay. And I've come to realize in just these last, couple thoughts, wow, it looks really nice outside in the reflection of my screen. But what I've come to realize in my last couple thoughts is with desires, okay? Because again, I spoke about this before. Right now, well, as of late, I've been having a desire to have a Polo Volkswagen, okay? Because my friend had one, and I would just love being in his car, and I wanted an automatic. I just loved it. So that's what I really wanted as my first car. But I haven't done my theory or any of these stuff, okay? And I still haven't done it. So I'm just constantly, every time I have that thought, is in a procrastination state. You know what I mean? But I guess the point that I wanted to drive home is that you have to recognize these desires, these thoughts. They're not necessarily bad things. They're things that might happen on your timeline, especially if your mind is kind of in this place, which is, for example, in where my mind is. These desires that I have are not necessarily unrealistic, and that's what makes them even more desirable to me, because I know that I can achieve them. You know what I mean? But then I still catch myself stuck in that procrastination state, where I'm just constantly reinstating those desires rather than actually putting in the practices to go get them. You know what I mean? And again, there's nothing wrong with this. It's just preventing me from living in the moment. It's just more keeping me in this procrastination state. So, okay, so what I want to drive home from this video is, again, it's stuff that we've talked about before. We just reinstating them. You reduce your mental whatever this. We have to remember that the spirit is whipping it. Okay, we have to let the spirit whip it. So now that the spirit's in control, or at least you're preparing to give the spirit control, the mind's desires, first of all, they're no longer as potent, so they're not as unrealistic, let's say. They might be realistic to more scenario based, you know what I mean? So let's say that you have a desire now to watch TV because you're in front of the TV. Again, these are things that are pretty normal, you know what I mean? But when your desire is to be this millionaire, when your desire is something so physical and so far away on the physical plane, you move so far away from your spiritual self, innit? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because your spiritual self is in a realm in which these physical things don't matter at all, innit? So the only way that you could possibly be close to the spiritual self is by minimizing your physical attachments. Okay, and it doesn't mean that those physical attachments are not able to be achieved, but it just means that, let's say you want to be a millionaire and you put in the graft to be a millionaire, you have to also understand that in that journey, when you become a millionaire, you are further walking away from your spiritual self, because the millionaire and the spiritual self are they're not intertwined, okay? They're not intertwined. And again, for someone that is, I've never been a millionaire's child, but if I was a millionaire's child as well, I reckon I would find it difficult to be more in tune with my spiritual self due to the physical, reinstatement of my whole life. You know what I mean? And again, when I've had conversations with people that come from a bit more wealthier backgrounds, and not necessarily just wealth, but just in terms of their lives have been kind of driven by physical things. They went on plenty of holidays, they always got gifts as a kid, blah 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 blah, all of these stuff. You come to notice that they're a bit more out of tune when it comes to these stuff, innit? And they're a bit more reinstated on these physical drivers. And even for the poor as well, you do find that the poor as well, for the people that didn't have those stuff, but then they see those stuff online and they hear about this stuff from other people, now I'm seeing that hunger show itself in the way that they, want these things, these physical things. But, you know, we can't let these physical things be our driver, bro. We can't. We just can't. We have to learn how to let go and quiet the mind. Okay? And again, it's like I start talking. It's like I start talking, yeah? And then I just completely forget what the title is going to be.